Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out. It's good to see the community power here. Thank you to the organizers as well as the speakers. I'm not as tall as Charles or Brent, but I'll do my best. I want to start off by saying the constellations of oppression in our society depend on the ethics of domination and neglect passed down through the generations from land-owning whites of the 15th century to today's corporate CEOs, politicians whose power grows from social inequality and environmental degradation. Communities of color, frontline communities, and poor communities are the most affected by their negligence. They were the first to drown in New Orleans, the first to suffer in Warren County, the first to see how community and ecology are deeply connected while the Gulf was tarnished with oil. They were first dead in Mississippi. These communities must suffer because of white supremacy, classism, materialism, and misogyny. The drinking from contaminated rivers in Flint came out of histories of racism, redlining, disenfranchisement, and disinvestment. Oppression permeates our society. It's in our water. We must accept the dismal fact that our nation suffers from a bourgeois environmentalism. Sustainability is not for the poor black. It is not for the poor white. It is not for the poor Hispanic. It is not for the American Indian whose ancestors was poisoned by militaristic savages. Sustainability is not for the Cambodian American and Compton whose ancestors fled because of American hubris overseas. It is not, sustainability is not for the young girl in Gilpin Court with a goiter on her neck. These people have not seen the benefits of sustainability. They struggle to heat their homes, to find affordable food, to drink safe water, to find reliable transportation, while the bourgeois take trips to breweries across the land and ride in Teslas. Woo! We are not fighting just an old fight. We are fighting now a new fight. New modern systems of domination overlaid onto historical systems which have left horrid residues on our landscapes and have destroyed generations of minds and of bodies. We are now fighting long-term somatic accumulation of trauma, of stress, of negligence, of pollution, and of pain. Our dominant food systems destroy our bodies. Pollution of waterways, airways, foodways, jet our bodies to what Michel Foucault calls life torture. A life of the worst quality of living which will never be escaped. Our struggles against modern oppression cannot succeed until we join together in a deep community of humanity, of reciprocity, and of love for all things on earth. These things, reciprocity, love, community, they are not signs of frailty. They were reprised through a discourse of ecofeminism, but are our oldest tools of survival. Let us brush away the ideologies of division and see that a healthy community must have no color, must have no class, and must have no sex. It must have all colors, all classes, and all sexes. A healthy community must see its leadership from all places, physical or mental. White man cannot sit in these offices and determine the fate of all of our people and all of our communities any longer.
Hell yeah!
We must build a sense of belonging beyond constructs of identity and beyond bourgeois ideals. As Bell Hooks states, Without an ethic of love beyond our own personal struggles, we are all surely doomed. Our pursuits of social equality have always been bound to a love for justice, for ourselves, for other people, and for our earth. In fact, for centuries, communities of color and the poor have been oppressed through this ethic of domination. But these communities have always tapped into traditions of resistance as we do today. From struggles of indigenous people to fish and hunt on their own land, to the battle of Blair Mountain and the whites of Appalachia, to the marches led by Fannie Lou Hamer of the Civil Rights Movement, to the black resistance of Warren County in 1983, we have fought environmental oppression. From the first Earth Day in 1970, which we heard today, to the People's Climate March a year ago, we have shown that the struggle and righteousness is our tradition. Woo! Alright, so today we stand in that tradition. We are holding corporations and governments accountable for the degradation of communities and of environment. We will shine light on the accumulated costs and the embedded destruction of greed and capitalism. The inhalation of coal dust, the drinking of leaded water is on their tab. The destroyed minds, homes, and economies of communities of color and of communities of poor folk and of communities of the conscious is on their tab. They must pay the human cost. We stand here to say that we will oppose environmental degradation and community degradation in any sense, by any means. We are not asking. We cannot afford another Flint. We cannot afford another Katrina. We cannot afford another Potomac spill. We cannot afford another Warren. We will not allow the souls of our ancestors to drown away in neglect and injustice as our children are poisoned by coal ash. We must stand together in the tradition of ecofeminism to destroy hierarchies and move into a period of eco-equality. We are not asking for coal ash to stay out of Virginian waters. We are demanding that our waterways are safe and clean forever. Thank you. Yeah.